you become as your peers. And that is why this is so super important. Next thing I'm going to talk about is fashion. It's really important to get a sense of fashion. Why? The first reason why is you tend to become like how you are dressed. How you dress affects you, affects your behavior. If you're dressed very sloppy, you will feel sloppy. If you dress very businesslike, very straight, you have a tie up your throat, you'll be very professional. If you're dressed in a party outfit, you feel more like partying. The way you dress actually affects you. That is one of the main reasons why it's important to dress up, why fashion is really important. It affects your behavior. It puts you into a stereotype. And it's really easy to live up to that stereotype. Actually, it's hard not to live up to that stereotype. So if you dress up like, if you dress up like a chode or whatever you want to call it, if you dress up like a normal guy who's shy, if your clothing puts you in a stereotype where it seems like you're shy, it will be hard not to be shy because you will fall into that stereotype. Now, when we talk about fashion, it's really hard because there's such a variety of different styles and different tastes, different flavors. But generally, people, they don't, like, a lot of guys really handle this easily. They have a cool haircut, they have awesome shoes, their pants look really good, and that's awesome. That is really good. It's really important. It's super important. But some people, they don't even think about it, or maybe they do. I don't know, but they don't seem to be thinking about it. And that is why I'm taking this up, because you should always review your fashion. What is this saying about me? What stereotype is it putting me into? And is it a stereotype that I want to be put into? And is it a stereotype that helps me? Do you understand the importance of this? Another thing about fashion is, if there are people who can dress up good, but they look really normal, like they blend into walls. And then you have I just got into community and mystery taught me peacocking, and now all of a sudden they look like a peacock. They look like a bird, walking bird, like they have feathers up their butt. That is also like, it's an extreme in the other end of the spectrum. What I am suggesting is, find the kind of style that you are comfortable with, that you feel like it puts me into the stereotype I want to. Like if you like rock music, dress like a cool rocker. If you like hip hop, dress like a hip hopper. But put your personal touch to it. Try to make it original. I mean, copy and then do your own version of it. And the more time and effort you actually put into your clothing, the way you dress, the way you look, your hair, the better you will become at it. I mean, today I hear all the time people, especially women, they say I'm really good looking. That wasn't always the case. I really experimented with myself. I really, tried to make the best out of me, to really become the best self. And in all areas, and this fashion and looks things, it was one of them. And now I feel like I've come to a place where I feel really comfortable with the way I look, and I've gotten to a point where it gives me a lot of advantages. Everybody can do this. I don't care what you think about your jeans, your nose. Yeah, that's actually a funny thing. The first pickup technique I taught myself. Let me tell you about this. Today I hear all the time that I'm a really good-looking man. Let me just tell you this to put it into perspective. When I was 12 years old, I was really shy about my nose. I had a complex, like my nose. I was like, it's huge, it's horrible. The first pickup technique I taught myself was, we went to these discotheques, like they had discos for kids. And the way you would go about to, try to hook up with some little girl was you would dance. You would come up from behind and you would dance with her. And then there was this crucial moment where the girl, turned around to see if you're hot. And if you were hot enough, you could dance and eventually you would kiss, right? My pickup technique was when that crucial moment came, I would be forced to look straight forward. They would, like, I would never allow them to see me from the side because I thought that would be so horrible. No. And I was convinced about this. I was like, I'm not good looking. From, if you look at me from, straightforward, yeah, I look pretty decent. But from the side, I look horrible. I really thought that. And today, I consider myself a really good looking guy. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I know a lot of people don't think they are good looking. A lot of guys walk around and they're like, yeah, no, man, I was born ugly. I don't really buy into that. I really don't buy into that. I remember once I saw a similar convention like this one, and there was this one guy speaking. I don't remember his name. He had a really good speech, but I realized something. After 40 minutes of him talking, I realized, wait a minute, this guy is actually ugly. But I didn't notice it. Like, it took me 40 minutes to notice this guy is actually not, his face is kind of weird. Like, he's not really good looking, but it took me 40 minutes because he had such great style. Like, he had really nice pants, really nice shoes. His jacket was just amazing. And his haircut was awesome. And it took me 40 minutes to realize, if you think about it in the sense of jeans, he's not that good looking, but nobody will give a fuck because he knows how to dress up. So don't shoot yourself down. Don't feel like, nah, why should I work on my clothing when I'm ugly? It's not true. It is not true. Unless there is something totally wrong with your face, there is no point for you to think that you're ugly. I have actually a friend, half of his face is burned off. Like literally burned off. He was in an accident. The other side is quite normal and he's actually quite good looking. He gets laid. Women find him attractive because he is comfortable with his burned side. He looks like Two-Face, from Batman. He actually looks like Two-Face. It's like when you see him, the first time you see him, you think, man, that is so horrible. But then you start to get used to it and you see that he is really comfortable and he has a great sense of fashion, great sense of style. And I mean, he doesn't have a lot of hair, this side is kind of quite burned, but the little hair he has, he makes something great with it. And after a while, you're like, man, he becomes normal. He becomes really good looking, even though half his face is burned off. So this is super important. Having a great sense of fashion is super important. Take time. Watch people. Watch how other people dress up. If you see someone you think, oh man, that is really nice. That's a really good outfit. Try to copy it. Try to make your own version of it. Don't leave it up to chances. This is super important. This is the first impression, and not only the first impression what other people perceives you. As I said, this is the most important part. How you dress affects your behavior. If you dress sloppy, you're gonna feel sloppy. If you're dressed in a very business-like way, you're gonna feel business-like. The way we dress affects our behavior. This is the most important reason for fashion. Is this clear for you? Cool. I'll jump into my next point. The third way to become a more cool person is you have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues in life. Now, what do I mean? See, I told you before that some people, they think that, I remember one student I had, it was quite ridiculous. His life was really boring, and he said so. He said, my life is quite boring. I sit at my couch most of the time. I come home from work, I sit at my couch or the computer, and I watch a movie, play a video game, then go to sleep. And he said, but I'm not unhappy. I wanted to be like this. I just figured that, I'll get some game, and I'll have some women in that picture, and then I'm good. I was like, no, that's ridiculous. You can't get good game and still have this, because 90% of your game is not your game, it's you. If your life is boring, and even you think it's boring, but just you're not unhappy to change it, then it's not gonna help. You're still going to be boring. Your sales pitch is only gonna get you so far. And not only that, some other people, like, if you're overweight, or if you're like slacking, or if you're broke, if you have issues that are distracting, that are, like a burden in your chest, all of this will affect you. If you don't handle your life in a good way, you're going to be troublesome. You're going to be having worries. That's not going to help you. How many people here have seen like material on how to handle your state? How many people? Like how to pump your state. How many people have seen how to pump your state? Like how you do the starfish, or how you dance to get into state, how you listen to good music. Do you find those things effective? I do. Those are really good state management tools. But the best state management tool, or whatever you want to call it, the best thing I've ever heard, the best advice to get into good state has come again from my co-instructor Kian. He understands this perfectly. He says, you know what your state is? If you want to have a good state, great state on Friday, do you know when you start working on that state? Monday morning. Your state on Friday, your state management on Friday night starts on Monday morning. How do you handle your life? When you go to work, do you slack or do you do your things? When you come home, do you clean your house? Do you cook like a healthy dinner, or do you eat pizza all the time? Do you work out? Like when Friday comes, are you like, yes? Are you proud of yourself? Or are you feeling like, man, this week has been awful. Yeah, let's get drunk and go out and be distracted. Your state on Friday nights, your state management begins on Monday morning. This is paying your dues, taking care of your life, handling your issues, improving your life, making it better, making it something you can be proud of. If you're overweight and you're unhappy about it, do something about it. The important thing is not that you have to look like, like a statue carved out of stone by Michelangelo himself. That's not the important part. The important part, are you proud of who you are? If you're not, it's going to be hard to convince anyone else to be. You need to pay your dues. It's super important. If you have something unresolved in your life, you need to solve it. Are you with me so far? Cool. Lastly, oh yeah, I can stand up because I have a black shirt. Cool. Lastly, the last way, or really good way, to improve your coolness, or become a better person, attract whatever, when it comes to women, is you need sexual experience. And I know this sounds kind of harsh or kind of counterproductive. Like, it feels like catch-22, doesn't it? So to get sex, I need to already have sex. I know it sounds counterintuitive, or like a catch-22 phrase, but it's actually not. See, when most guys think of sexual experience, they think about not just in the belt, how many women have I slept with? You know what? When I was 18, before I turned 18, I had slept with like, I don't know, maybe 50 women. And I had friends who had only slept with 2 women. They were more sexual experienced than me. You know why? Because out of those 50 women, most of them was just one-night stands. While my friends who only slept with 2 women, one maybe was a one-night stand, the other one was a girlfriend they had sex with every day for like 2 years. That is like 700 lays. Well, I had only gotten 50. Do you see my point? It's not the notches in the belt. It's going to be like, if you're a virgin, say for example you're a virgin, then it's going to be hard, but you're going to have to struggle. You're going to have to struggle to get over that threshold. But not only that, some guys, they've even had girlfriends, but they still have sexual experience. Why? Because they didn't put any time and effort into the sex. They just did it as a standard routine. We're together, so we have sex. Dick in, dick out, dick in, dick out. They didn't experiment with it. In order for you to be sexually comfortable, you need to experience and experiment with your sexuality. So try, what I'm recommending is find a partner. It doesn't have to be a girlfriend, it doesn't have to be a fuck buddy, just someone who is as curious as you are about sex, and explore it, explore sexuality. It doesn't have to be that you need to sleep with 20 women. Now I'm sexually experienced. I've had a lot of variety. I've had a Chinese, I've had a African, I've had a Latina. That's not sexual experience, man. That's, it's just, yeah. It's a smorgasbord, yeah. It's not sexual experience. It's just, you know how different women look naked. That's what it is. Sexual experience is exploring your own sexuality and also the female sexuality or the opposite sex sexuality. Something. And that is what I recommend you guys to do. If you're a virgin or if you're a partnerless, I really urge you to try to find a partner. It doesn't have to be the woman of your dreams. It doesn't have to be someone you connect 100% with. You just have to be someone who share your curiosity about sex and explore it. Get sexually experienced. Get comfortable with your sexuality.